Pokemon games are too easy. I mean, what did you expect? It's a game meant for toddlers. A Pokemon Nuzlocke, however, takes the game meant for literal babies and makes it a little more challenging, with the addition of rules like only being allowed to catch the first encounter per route, nicknaming every single Pokemon to force an emotional attachment, and if a Pokemon faints, it's dead forever, and others I'll simply put on screen. Hi, my name is Runek, and this is my attempt at my very first Pokemon Nuzlocke. Out of all the Pokemon games available, I chose Pokemon Emerald. Why? Because it's the best. I opened my eyes and found myself in the back of a truck? What? Mom? Why was I in the back of a truck? Don't worry about it, kid. Okay, moving on. I see Professor Birch being terrorized by a level 2 Zigzagoon. Heh, stupid grown-up. Well, I guess I gotta help. So I grabbed Mudkip and proceeded to absolutely obliterate the Zigzagoon. I shall name you Radical. Now that we have our starter Pokemon, it's time to fight our rival. May did have the upper hand, but Radical wasn't gonna lose. After the fight, May gave us the balls necessary to catch Pokemon, and just like that, our adventure officially began. And you know what that means? It's time for encounters, baby. And our first encounter is... Welcome to the team. Barf. I also caught a dog, named it Parrots, and then reunited with my absentee father.
Who the fuck are you?
After that successful father-son bonding session, I watched Wally struggle to catch a Pokemon, and then moved on to Rustboro City, catching Mingo the Wingull and Ginger the Shroomish on the way. After grinding for a bit, it was finally time to take on the first gym. First on the chopping board was Roxanne and her rock collection, whom just so happened to be weak to our adorable little Mudkip. So as you'd expect, Radical swept Roxanne's whole team with no setbacks whatsoever, earning us the first badge. With the first badge in hand, overflowing with confidence, I took on May on an optional fight, and immediately got one of my Pokemon killed. And just like that, Parrots the Poochyena was no more. Parrots, you weren't with us for long, and you undoubtedly were a good dog. I promise to do better from here on out. Okay, I promise to do better starting now. After somehow managing to end the fight without any more casualties, I moved on to Dewford Town. Got off the boat, did a little bit of grinding, and immediately went to challenge Broly, the fighting gym leader. Mingo the Wingull took care of Broly's Machop, followed by his Metatite, without any issues. To stop the absolute menace that is Wingull, Broly sent out Makuhita. Makuhita used Bulk Up twice, and one-shot Mingo the Wingull. And just like that, we had our second casualty of the run. Dustox came out and finished off the Makuhita. And now, for a moment of silence for Mingo the Wingull. On to Granite Cave. Oh hey, a Zubat. Let's see, you have no eyes and your mouth is almost the size of your own head. I think I have the perfect name for you. Friend. Me, with my newly captured best friend, went to Southport to catch another friend, Magnemite. Honestly, any electric Pokemon would be a remarkable addition to the team. I stepped on the grass hoping for my favorite little guy, but all that was waiting for me was a These Nuts joke. And it wasn't even that funny. Also, May was looking to throw hands, so I happily slapped her with mud a couple of times and then moved on. Up next was the Electric Gym, but before that, Wally wanted to fight. So I showed him who's the protagonist and challenged Watson, the Electric type gym leader. The battle went as you would expect. I just used Mud Slap exactly 4 times. Let's be honest here, Watson didn't even have a chance. I got the third badge, super easy, barely any inconvenience. On my way to the desert area, I had to smash a rock. A Geodude jumped out and attacked me. Rude. So I caught it and named it Ball. On my way to Lava Ridge Town, I found Team Aqua and Magma arguing about dirt and water or whatever. I wasn't paying attention. This whole time, they were causing trouble all over the region, and I was getting annoyed dealing with their shenanigans. So I tracked down their boss and I beat him up. And while I was at it, I took his money. After dealing with Team Magma, my next objective is to get Flannery's contact info. I mean, the 4th badge. Flannery is the fire-type gym leader, and this gave me the perfect opportunity to test out my ball. So I leveled up Geodude until it was ready to throw hands. And then I proceeded to spend the next 30 minutes struggling to solve a puzzle meant for actual children. Flannery sent out Numel, and Ball took it out with Magnitude. And then she sent out Slugma. Slugma? Ball took out the Slugma, Camera Up came out and set up the sun with a sunny day. Graveler rolled a magnitude 10 and one-shot the Camera Up. Way to go, Graveler. I knew catching him wasn't a mistake. You have proven yourself. Take down this Torkoal, and let's take on the Elite Four together. What? Wait. Huh? I'm sorry, Graveler. Looks like we aren't gonna take on the Elite Four together. Seeking comfort for my loss, I went to see Dad. Dad, my Pokemon keep dying. Radical and Ginger took out Norman, Spinda and Vigoroth. Next he sent out Linoone. And this is where everything went downhill. Linoone used Belly Drum, and before I realized what was happening, Radical was killed. I'm not gonna lie, that actually hurt. Out of all the casualties so far, this one felt the most preventable. And it's also the one that hurt the most. In a fit of rage, I sent out Ginger and one-shot the bastard Linoone. Radical was avenged. Norman sent out Slacking. This thing has a ridiculous amount of HP, and it hits like a semi-truck. The only thing holding it back is its ability, Truant, which make it so that Slacking can only move every other turn. My plan is simple, use Leech Seed as insurance and hit Harambe as hard as I can. But sadly, he lived, and my boy didn't. I tried to quickly take it out with Friend, but Norman used a potion and the beast was back to full health. Fearing that Friend might die, I switched in Volume. I know, he's just a kid, but it had to be done. Most of my team is either dead or too weak to stand against this behemoth of a Pokemon. Maybe this is where it all ends. Out of desperation, I switched to Barf, hoping Leech Seed would eventually take it out. And in a rare case of insurance actually stepping in to solve your problems, Leech Seed actually took it out. We did it. The Radical and Ginger is no longer with us. Their spirits will forever be a part of this journey. Hello, it's me again. You can probably tell I have no idea what I'm doing. That's because this is my second time ever playing Pokemon. I don't really plan for stuff. I'm more of a fuck it, we ball kinda guy, you know? After the massacre that took place, I needed a new team. But more importantly, I needed Hope, Captain Nemo, Friend, Child, Sid, and Static. Oh, before I go, could you just hit the subscribe button for me? Okay, thank you. With my newly assembled team and a foolproof plan, I went and challenged Winona and her creatures of the sky. Go Static. You see, being an electric type, Static should have no problem in a flying gym. Earthquake? It's okay, being an electric type, Static should have no problem in a flying gym, because he also has a friend. Suffice it to say, Static and Friend made quick work of Winona's Pokemon, and we got the 6th badge. I gotta keep this momentum going. On to the next gym. Wait a minute, this doesn't look like the 7th gym. What? Team Magma stole your orb? Why are you telling me this? Call the police or something, I don't know. Right, the police just doesn't exist here. Don't worry, lady. I know exactly where Team Magma is hiding. So I went straight to Team Magma's hideout and I wiped the floor with them. No fun allowed. Oh, RG. Come out, wherever you are. Yeah, that's something that would happen to me. After that whole incident, I gave up on beating up grown men and went to beat up children instead. Up until now, I was just brute forcing my way through all the gyms, but no more. I won't see any more of my Pokemon die. I scoured the internet and came up with a brilliant strategy. I am not joking, that's the actual plan I came up with. So I leveled up the shop that I caught before, went and challenged Tate and Lisa? Yeah, sure, whatever. Alright Lily, it was a lot of trouble catching you up to the team, now show me what you're made of. Why do I even try? Time to initiate Plan JFS. Just fucking survive. Gyarados managed to barely take out the Xatu, and Captain Nemo took out the annoying Claydol, and out comes Solrock. Hope and Nemo immediately gang up and wipe the floor with it, and Hope also took out Solrock's twin brother Lunatone with a critical hit Hydro Pump. That went better than expected. Guess I was scared for nothing. I walked out the 7th gym like a champ, with no losses. While wandering in Moss Deep, I found Steven. Hi Steven. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I'll help. Let me show you how it's done. Camera up, easy. Gold bat, barely an inconvenience. Mighty Anna, try something new.
And his name is John C.
Dude. I knew I shouldn't have helped. And now I gotta find new victims. I mean, team members. Hey look, a Magnemite. Yay! Now I just need one more. Yippee! Welcome to the team, Nuke. While I was busy getting my Pokemon killed, Team Aqua was shoving the wrong orb down Kyogre's throat. So Kyogre got pissed and started fighting Groudon. I know, logical conclusion, right? And that was the start of...
global climate change.
Hey, wake up, old man. And just like that, we stopped global warming. And now that that's out of the way, we can finally get the last badge. Out of my way, losers. Alright, John, what have you got for me? Johan's first Pokemon was Lupdisk, which turned out to be much more of a challenge than I thought, but I eventually managed to take it out. And Jan sent out Kingdra, a water and dragon type. Dragons are difficult to deal with in general, and this one just kept spamming double team. So landing a hit became impossible, and on top of that, anytime it was about to die, it would just use rest and be back to full health, and get rid of any negative status conditions. You wanna know how long it took me to get rid of this ugly seahorse? Well, it took me 30 fucking minutes to get rid of the seahorse. And I still had the rest of Jared's team to deal with. So I pulled out my gun and... with the final badge in hand, I am finally ready to challenge the Elite Four. I finally made it to the Elite Four. The road that I took to get here was filled with so many mistakes. So many had to sacrifice themselves for me to be here. I owe it to them to finish what I've started, and in one way or another, this journey I'm on right now will come to an end. Our team is ready to face the Elite Four. Hope, Spark, Friend, Gollum, Captain Nemo. Each member has been meticulously selected, trained and equipped with the optimal movesets from the strongest of TMs to counter any challenges we may face. First on our chopping board was the Dark-type specialist, Sydney. Hope took out his Mighty Anna with a Surf, and he sent out Absol. And in response, I sent out Gollum. I taught Sableye Brick Break and Shadow Ball because none of my other Pokemon can learn any fighting type moves. Gollum is my only answer to Dark and Ghost types. I know it's not stab, but it should get the job done, right? You know what? I'm done with this bullshit RNG. The rest of Sydney's team wasn't much of a challenge. Captain Nemo took out the Absol, Friend took out Sydney's Shiftry and Cacturn, and Spark took down the Crawdont, and just like that, the first Elite Four member is down. Up next was the Ghost type specialist, Phoebe, I think. She started with Dusclops. Right now would be a perfect time to send out a Dark type, but sometimes life has other plans. Anyway, Gyarados took out the annoying Dusclops and became confused in the process, and out comes Bayonet. Friend used Bite. Bayonet flinched. I didn't realize it at the time, but I was playing with fire. Or in this case, Thunder. I don't know how, but Friend left a critical hit Thunderbolt. The absolute mad lad. Just get me out of here. I sent out Spark and took out the spooky doll. Phoebe sent out her other Dusclops. And this one wasn't a challenge either, just annoying. Oh my god, not you again. This time, I'm not taking any chances. I'm calling in the tactical nuke. Hey look, it's a friend. Bye. And Phoebe of the Elite Four was defeated. So far, things aren't going as I hoped they would. My plans keep falling apart before I have the chance to set them in motion. But this time, it's gonna be different, because this time, I've done my homework. You see, the Ice-type specialist Glacia's team is mostly Water-type. So I set up with Rain Dance and one-shot everything with Thunder. Not gonna lie, it feels good when things go according to plan. After taking down Glacia, only one Elite Four member remains. Drake, the Dragon Master. Prepare yourself, because I'm about to nuke your dragons to oblivion. Let me ask you a simple question. Who would win in a fight? A coughing baby or a hydrogen bomb? Nuke also took out Salamence, almost dying in the process. But he's fine, you're fine. Drake sent out Altaria. Hope was able to take it out with 2 ice beams. I'm on a roll today. The universe must have heard me because Drake sent out his Kingdra to rain on my parade. I was mentally preparing myself for another 30-minute battle with Kingdra. I sent out Captain Nemo and set up the sun, in hopes of hitting the Kingdra as hard as I can. And after a couple of hits, the weird-looking seahorse was down. Huh, that was anticlimactic. Drake sent out his final Pokémon, Flygon, and Hope eventually took it out with Ice Beam. After conquering Drake and his dragons, there's only one person who stood between me and the champion's throne, and it's the current champion himself, Steven Stone. Wait a minute, you're not Steven. Who the heck are you? You know what, doesn't matter. You're going down either way. Wallace started with Wailord, who was kind enough to set up the rain for Spark to decimate the overgrown fish with Thunder. It was at this moment I realized that I forgot to heal. Wallace sent out Gyarados, and I took this opportunity to send out Friend and heal my team as best I could. Friend almost took out Gyarados, but Wallace healed and just started spamming Dragon Dance. Gyarados used a Dragon Dance boosted Hyper Beam and killed Friend the Crobat. Friend was with us for the most of our journey. I can't believe we lost Friend when we're so close to the finish line. I'm like actually upset. I nuked the Gyarados, but the feeling of emptiness did not go away. As if to mock me, Wallace sent out Ludicolo, who started dancing. But I was already out for blood. Spark set up the rain. Ludicolo must have felt the bloodlust in the air, and in an attempt to escape, started spamming Double Team, but it wasn't going to save it from his fate. With a devastating thunder, Spark decimated the Ludicolo. 3 Pokemon remain. Wallace sent out Wishcash, but little did he know I had the perfect counter. Captain Nemo set up the sun and obliterated the dumb-looking catfish with Solar Beam. 2 Pokemon remain. Next, out came Milotic. Wallace tried chipping away at Captain Nemo, but Captain Nemo took out the Milotic with the power of the sun. 1 Pokemon remain. Wallace sent out his last Pokemon, Tentacruel. This is it. Just take out the jellyfish and I become the champion. Wallace, with his back against the wall, said, "If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me." Tentacruel used Hydro Pump, and of course it crit, and took out Spark the Magneton, which was basically a fuck you for the road. After a lot of struggle, Captain Nemo managed to take out the Tentacruel. Well, I did it. I obtained the crown of the champion. But at what cost? My team is broken beyond repair, a shadow of its former self. I've lost the spark I had within. I sacrificed so many to get to this point, and all I have to show for it is an empty title. Now, all I can do in this empty room is reminisce about what I once had. A friend.